I recently posted a video outlining the e-bike laws for Australia, which I will link to at the end of this video. However, I did promise I would let you know if there were any updates, and there has in fact been an update brought to my attention by Andrew Tilbrook in the comments, so thank you very much for that. And it's definitely good news for New South Wales. Not only that, this update to the law actually happened in February 2023, which was before the original video, so it just shows it went completely under my radar and maybe under yours too. Hey, my name's Andy and welcome to the channel. So just to fill you in, the current speed limit in Australia for e-bikes is 25 kilometers per hour. Now don't get your hopes up, New South Wales. That still remains the same for you. You're still the same as the rest of the country. It's 25 kilometers per hour. If you haven't seen that other video, I'll just let you know that doesn't mean that's the top speed an e-bike can go, but that's just the speed at which point the motor stops assisting you. So you can of course travel faster than that, but you'll be doing it by your own pedal power. Now the other key restriction that a lot of people will talk about is the actual power of the motor. So it's 250 watts max power for e-bikes in most of Australia. And you'll notice I said most of Australia because in New South Wales it has now been doubled to 500 watts. So in New South Wales, the legal limit, so the legal max capacity of the power of your e-bike motor is now 500 watt. So as I'm sure you'll agree, that is brilliant news, especially for New South Wales people. Even though the top speed remains the same, bringing that the max power up to 500 watt, that now brings it in line with Canada, I believe, even though their max speed is higher. So hopefully maybe one day that'll change too. But having that max power output of 500 watt means that you'll be able to reach your top speed easier. Most importantly, I think, is going up hills. You're going to find easier because on a 250 watt motor, there's some steep hills and that is a struggle, especially if you've got a couple of Uber Eats or DoorDash or menu log orders on your back. Also, for those e-bikes intended to carry people instead of just cargo, that's going to be excellent having that extra power there. And if you're carrying a bit of extra baby weight like myself, then that extra power is only going to help too. So there is a couple of drawbacks of having a 500 watt motor as opposed to a 250, in that it's probably going to be a bit heavier, making your bike heavier. And because of that extra power, it's going to go through your battery quicker. So you will need a bigger and therefore heavier battery if you don't want your range to suffer. An awesome solution to solve that problem was suggested by Katie Koo McGill in the comments, so I hope I've pronounced that correctly, by the way. They actually run a 2 battery setup, so for shorter trips where you don't need such a long range, they'll only have 1 battery on board to keep the weight down, and then for longer trips, or sort of, I guess if you're doing a whole shift doing food delivery, you're going to put both batteries on board so you've got that bigger range. But that's a fairly complicated setup for a layman like you or me, so I appreciate that's not going to be possible for most people. However, if I was in New South Wales looking to buy an e-bike anytime soon, I'd definitely be looking at the 500 watt options over the 250 watts. So at this stage, I don't know if the other states are going to follow suit. Hopefully they do, we just don't know. But I've actually written to all of the roads authorities from each state, or I've emailed them because it's 2023. Subscribe to this channel and I'll let you know if and when I hear back from them and what their reply is. Anyway, here's the original video which goes into a lot more depth about the e-bike rules in Australia, so make sure you watch that next. If I have had an update since posting this video, that one's going to appear there. So whichever one you go to, thanks for watching and I'll see you there.